sanctified by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. I pray against.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers, and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Yeah, so if this is the first time here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we highly recommend subscribing to stay updated with our latest content. Hit the subscription button above, click the bell icon, and select all to receive notifications whenever we at the Jamaica Young Police channel release a video. Remember that this channel is not an entertainment channel. You know, entertainment channels give you an average between 10 to 15 minutes. This is not an entertainment channel, so you have to go elsewhere if you want entertainment. Remember to give this video a thumbs up because you will find it helpful and informative. Please remember to share the video with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, mama, papa, side chick, or side man, and tell them to tell a friend about the Jamaica Young Police channel. You can join the Patreon squad. By doing so, you will gain access to exclusive content that cannot be played on YouTube due to various restrictions. To unlock this untapped collection of videos, click the link in the description box below. Joining our Patreon community allows you to explore contents that complies with laws, rules, and regulations while avoiding disruption to our channel's functionalities. You'll be able to see videos and you'll see photograph names of persons who have been killed and are still waiting on justice, like Rifle of the British crew, one of the British of the British crew, and you'll see the people who are involved in the killing of these men and others, including Douglas Chambers, who was killed by PMP criminal organization members, and it came from the top. And to date, the person who have given that order has not been arrested and charged for that murder. So you can go to Patreon and you'll be able to see the face and name of those persons. So thanks for your continued support, and we look forward to providing you with exceptional content. So moving on to today's video.
Hallelujah! I feel sanctified by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. I pray against.
Yeah, so this is part 4 of this series. You know, we tell you of Mark Golding's family benefiting from slavery. And you know, it was British people that were in Jamaica. And you know that this man, he's not Jamaican. He's born in Britain and claiming that he's Jamaican. Have no Jamaican passport, no Jamaican birth certificate, lying that he was born at the University of the West Indies Hospital, and there's no record of him there. And then the worst part about it is that we have black people in Jamaica who is working along with this man to betray our country to become a republic, to free ourselves from the vestiges of slavery. Yes, and when we say the vestiges of slavery, we are talking about these people have enslaved our ancestors. I am my ancestor and my ancestor is me. So whatever my ancestor has been through, I have experienced it too. because it's in my genes. So you cannot tell me that I don't have slave genes, because I know that I do, because I am not white. It's my ancestors that were enslaved, brought to this world, packed like sardine on ships. The Atlantic Ocean that's where is a burial ground for millions of my ancestors. Yes, and to this day, we still have been subjugated to being inferior to these white people. Some of them, let's not forget that white people die for us. White people fought for us to be free. So, not all white people are evil, but the ones who had power then, you know that they were the epitome of evil, and they still are. You know, even right today's day, as we are talking to you in 2024, you know, for you as a Jamaican, we don't matter what, if you're white Jamaican, yes, you need a visa to go to Britain, but they can send their white man, yes, their white man to Jamaica who have studied everything and able to become prime minister in Jamaica. Then we have black people there. We have black people in Jamaica trading, riding along with this man. This man says that his ancestors came to Jamaica on slave ship. I'd like to know what the name of that ship, because I know that in history I was taught, I know that Europeans were enslaved by their own people. That's why you have the movie called Spartacus and all these things. That's back then. It was the Romans that were enslaving other Romans, capture them and keep them in bondage. Some people have to fight for their freedom. So it's from the beginning of time, man have to be fighting for them freedom from other men. So the beauty about it is that millions of my ancestors have died for me to even sit down right now and talk on this mic, to share the experience of them. You're going to hear it narrated through a white man's voice, not my voice, as I want them to tell you, because they are white people who are conscientious, ethical, honest, and decent. Yes, you have white people out there that you cannot tell them that a man is a woman or a woman is a man. Yes, you have white people, but you have some other white people that you can't tell that. So let's figure that out. Alright, so you watch, you listen, and you decide. So we continue the journey. This is part 4. That's in time the gays and the other members of this community celebrate their month in the United States of America. They get a month for themselves. Jamaica has been labeled one of the most homophobic places on earth, according to these people, in which Jamaicans, do not kill gays. Every gay that I have known that has been killed by their lovers in Jamaica. I have known 3 men personally whom I have worked with, and I know for men decades, and they were killed by their gay lovers, in which the lovers haven't been arrested and charged, because it seems like in Jamaica they are the only group of people who can kill others, and there's no criminal charges against them unless the perpetrator is of a lower economic background. But these 3 men were 3 police officers, well-educated men, and they were killed by their gay lovers in Jamaica. And nothing happened. I'll do a commentary about them later on. Anyway, so we know that the gays have been labeled in Jamaica as being homophobic. That's a lie. Jamaicans are not homophobic, because we work with gay people. We don't attack them or anything like that. People don't even scorn them. So that's just a blatant lie. Just want, just creating a problem when there's none. You understand? It's just lies and propaganda. You have to understand that the reason why Jamaican people do not subscribe to this kind of behavior, you understand, it's just that it was used to terrorize black people during slavery. The whites, the British white men, they used to, they had some serious homosexuals who were a part of the slave trade and a part of the management team on the plantations. And these men, they would rape the strongest and biggest black men on the plantation because they think that they cannot control them and use it and terrorize and belittle them. So this was a behavior that they used to demonize and belittle black people. So it was a form of terrorism. But the world is not telling the North Americans and the Europeans that's the reason why Jamaicans on the world reject this kind of lifestyle. It's because it was used on them as a means of terrorism. They use it and terrorize our ancestors. So it's genetically embodied in a majority of the black people's genes. So it's passed on to them. You understand? It's just like, any other thing. So that trauma is still there within the genes. So no wonder why you have so many black people that have suffering from PTSD from slavery, because it's a gene that has been passed on to them. It's just like if a woman is pregnant and anything that she has been through during her pregnancy, it's passed on to the unborn child. And that is not me saying, it's science. So I want you to listen to what they're telling you, the reason why Jamaicans do not subscribe to this homosexual lifestyle, and the main reason, because it was used as a terroristic weapon against them. You understand? So telling the black people in Jamaica to kumbaya with gays and stuff like that, that would be like telling the African Americans who the Ku Klux Klans have lynched, killed, terrorized, to tell them that, well, look, you don't want to, you don't like them, well, you're being racist, so you have to just love them now. If you don't, we're going to use economic terrorism against you. So that's another form. So you're going to terrorize the black people twice after their ancestors have been lynched, murdered, and all kind of thing. Now you're telling them you're going to use economic terrorism against them if they do not love the thing that their enemies have used against them. Remember, black people were even mutilated. They even cut off the black men genitals and put it in jars and preserve it to look at. What kind of human being would do something like that? After you kill somebody, or before you cut off the person's penis and then you put it in a jar because you want to see it. That has to be some form of envy and some sickness right there. You understand? And and for the European and North American who want to tell black people how to live after all those trauma, that is, that goes to show the unconscionable behavior of these people. But anyway, I wanted to check out this video, and this is history. A lot of Jamaican people and people all over the world, they do not read, they do not educate themselves about anything. They just go along with what the pundits said to them and what they like. So let's check out this video, okay? One love.
In the 17th century, a rough family of London cloth cutters called Beckford emigrated to the newly conquered colony of Jamaica to seek its fortune. The Beckfords invested in sugar and slaves.
On your feet! On your feet! Up, come on! On your feet!
And within 4 generations became one of the richest families in England. They were the yuppies of their day, part of an emerging social class which aspired to become the new aristocracy. There was Beckford the planter, who wrote a unique handbook on how to run a sugar estate.
Out of every 4 African slaves, scarcely one produces a really efficient worker.
And Beckford the playboy, who used sugar profits to bring about a revival in Gothic architecture.
Some people drink to forget their unhappiness. I don't drink. I build.
But he'd be best remembered for his part in a notorious sexual scandal. He told his life story to a biographer to try to restore his reputation. While slavery flourished and sugar sales boomed, The Beckford's world was an orgy of greed and extravagance. But the industry that made them was built on human suffering and greed, and would eventually destroy them. This is the story of the rise and fall of Britain's richest slaving dynasty, the House of Beckford. In 1774, an English gentleman, William Beckford of Summerley, arrives in Jamaica with his wife to take over the family business. He's the fourth generation of Beckford planters.
My father owned the 3 plantations on the Cabarita River, and on his death they became mine. At the time they were managed by representatives.
Summerley inherits slaves, property, and 7,000 acres worth £120,000, more than $2 million at today's rates, near Jamaica's southern port of Savannah-la-Mar.
Jamaica is the best country in the world. Fortunes may be made there, without question. They may also be lost. But an adventurer, investor, a speculator of imagination may certainly lift his fortunes in Jamaica.
Summerley is new to the business of slavery, but keen to increase the profitability of his plantations. The largest of these is Roaring River.
Pick up those. Come on, he's here now.
Oh, journey's end. Now we can get out of this infernal heat. Good afternoon, Master. Welcome in. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Welcome, Master.
Hello. Handsome addition. Thank you. Good afternoon. Quarter to Mrs. Beckford.
Little is known about Summerley's wife, Charlotte, except that she was his first cousin. Unusually for an Englishwoman, she's willing to brave the dangers of the tropics until they can return home with an even bigger fortune. Summerley wastes no time heading out to the cane fields. The British have been in Jamaica since 1655, when they took the island from the Spanish. It's now a colony, providing Britain and her American possessions with sugar. By Summerley's time, there are 700 plantations on the island.
The rain keeps over, we should have a very good crop.
For Summerley, African slave labour is the machinery of his plantation, ideally suited to the task.
The climate in the West Indies is oppressive. The humidity for a European produces indolence and diminishes health, and ultimately the vigour of the mind. The Negro is constructed for exactly that climate. Their skin is thicker and able to withstand the heat.
Like all planters, Summerley sees slaves as mere workhorses rather than people.
The light shining off the naked skin of the Negroes is a magnificent sight. The blades rise and fall like the violins of a well-conducted orchestra.
A uniquely detailed inventory of his father's property shows that Summerley inherits 910 slaves worth £36,000. The Roaring River plantation alone has 84 men, 92 women, 80 children and 3 runaways. We know their names, their jobs and the amount that they are worth. Each one is given the Beckford name as a sign of ownership, and it's still a common surname in Jamaica today. The use of forced slave labour demands a harsh control system. Summerlee employs a white overseer who manages 4 black drivers, privileged slaves who harass the field hands. Brutality and fear are the instruments of the regime.
Tell the drivers no more rest days till the harvest is in.
Yes, sir.
While Summerlee is on the ground making money, his cousin William Beckford of Fonthill is in England spending it as the new head of the Beckford dynasty.
On the 29th of September 1781, William Beckford of Fonthill finally came of age.
On his 21st birthday, he becomes the owner of 22 Jamaican plantations, bought or ruthlessly acquired by his ancestors.
The property and wealth which he inherited was almost £1 million, with a further £100,000 a year in income.
This enormous fortune leads the poet Byron to describe him as England's wealthiest son. William's coming of age is a moment of great relief for his ambitious mother, Maria. She's fought off rival claims to her only son's fortune since the death of his father when he was 9.
My father increased the family wealth in Jamaica and then came back to London, where he became Lord Mayor of London twice. Actually, he made quite a name for himself. People used to call him the Great Beckford.
Maria appoints a trusted family friend, lawyer Thomas Wildman, to manage William's affairs. Between them, mother and lawyer will attempt the challenging job of guiding and controlling this frivolous young man.
Oh, I was never good for anything in this life, but composing airs, building towers, and forming gardens.
Now wealthy and respectable, the Beckfords brush under the carpet their family's dark history in the Caribbean.
The island of Jamaica was the rendezvous for the most lawless and profligate adventurers who ever roamed the earth.
The Beckford clan arrived in 1660 and set about making money.
The Beckford ancestors were certainly colourful. The great-grandfather, Peter Beckford, was ruthless, unscrupulous, and violent. The Beckford grandfather, another Peter Beckford, a Speaker of the Jamaica Assembly, shamefully murdered in cold blood the Deputy Judge Advocate. Despite his violence, he died in his own bed, reputed to be one of the richest subjects in Europe. When his strongbox was opened, the greater part of £1 million was discovered, hoarded up.
The largest share of the family's huge fortune has come to Beckford of Fonthill. He lavishes his extraordinary wealth on treasures, books, paintings and ceramics.
Happy are those with plenty of money. Their kingdom is come, their will is done upon earth, if not in heaven.
Beckford buys beautiful objects to distance himself from the origin of his wealth, with its unsavoury whiff of commerce and slavery.
Art is something that you have to feel inwardly, you have to feel it inside. It's not something that you can just admire. Mere admiration will not do. People pretend to be struck by an object of art, but that's only because people around them are being struck by the same thing.
Fonthill's expensive tastes challenge the patience of his lawyer, Thomas Wildman, who sets his monthly allowance according to sugar profits.
He sets too much value on the things that money can buy. The enjoyment of gildery and painting is momentary.
Well, what use is money if you can't spend it? How Wildman could seriously think that I would leave a single farthing of my allowance undrawn, I have no idea.
Wildman's job is to run the Beckford sugar business and fight off ancient claims to his estates. Fonthill also trusts Wildman to protect him from fraudsters.
The whole world believes that Mr. Beckford is groaning under so heavy a burden of riches that anyone who can take part of that weight from his shoulders is doing him an essential service.
While Fonthill glosses over the source of his wealth, Summerlee is at the sharp end of the business, driving the pace of sugar production. Sugarcane is the first agricultural product in the world to go through an industrial process before going to market. The word factory is first used in English to describe the Jamaica boiling houses. During harvesting, slaves work a shift system.
This is the actual factory.
As you have heard for yourself, we have come to the end of part 4. You heard even these white men, they were very violent toward each other. You heard that this man died, leave £1 million in his chest. But this man had killed another white man shamelessly, and nothing happened to him because he was a wealthy white man in Jamaica, and that's where he made his money. So it goes to show you how white people benefited from our suffering as a people. So when you think that these people are looking out for us as black people, you better think again, because you can see what these people have done to our ancestors. And now we have a man who is a British, who claims that he came to Jamaica on a slave. His ancestor came on a slave ship, and black people is believing him, because he's the same one who says that them not read. So that's why I tell them anything. But I just tell them because them not read. That's why I use TikTok and Instagram. Because them not read. That's why I tell them things. Yes. So we have come to the end of part 4. Yes, man. I hope you're learning, because we tell you already, this is not an entertainment channel. No. We give you factual things and historical things too. You understand? So have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica, Young Police Channel, out.